Welcome to Sleepy Stories, the place where stories aren't meant to be finished. I'm Arthur, and tonight I'll be reading you a relaxing, sleepy story written by Pumby. We're heading out to sea, where turquoise waters meet endless sky. A gentle voyage awaits beneath the surface, where coral gardens sway and the world moves at the ocean's unhurried pace. So settle yourself comfortably, let your breathing slow, and allow the rhythm of the waves to carry you away. The boat rocks you gently, back and forth, a steady, predictable motion that's already beginning to ease the tension from your shoulders. You're sitting on the wooden deck of a small vessel, weathered and warm beneath your palms. The sun hangs low on the horizon, painting everything in shades of amber and rose gold. Your captain is a man of few words. He simply nods toward the horizon, adjusts the wheel with practiced hands, and lets the boat find its own course. There's no rush here. The engine hums quietly. A low vibration you feel more than hear, blending seamlessly with the sound of water lapping against the hull. Around you, the ocean stretches endlessly. Not the violent, churning sea of storms and drama, but something far more peaceful. The surface barely ripples. Gentle swells rise and fall, like the breathing of some vast sleeping creature. Each wave catches the fading sunlight, transforming into liquid copper before settling back into deep blue. You trail your fingers over the side. The water is surprisingly warm, almost bath-like. It leaves a slight salt residue on your skin that you don't bother wiping away. Ahead, you can just make out a darker patch beneath the surface, the reef, your destination. But there's no urgency to arrive. The journey itself is the point. A seabird glides past, wings outstretched, riding invisible currents without a single flap. It seems to understand something fundamental about this place. Effort is unnecessary when you learn to move with the natural flow of things. The bird banks lazily, circles once, then continues towards some unknown destination. The captain cuts the engine. Silence rushes in to fill the space, except it's not really silence at all. You hear the gentle slosh of water against wood, the creak of the boat settling, your own breathing, which is somehow synchronized with the rhythm of the waves. Even the air feels different here, thick with moisture, and the faint scent of salt and sun-warmed planks. He drops anchor. The chain rattles briefly, then goes quiet as it finds the sandy bottom far below. You're floating now, suspended between sky and sea, tethered to nothing but this single point beneath you. From a weathered chest, the captain produces diving gear, not the complicated apparatus of deep-sea exploration, just simple fins, a mask, a snorkel. He hands them to you without instruction. You'll know what to do. The reef isn't far down, just 12 or 15 feet below the surface, shallow enough to reach easily, deep enough to hold wonders. You slip into the water, the ocean embraces you completely. That first moment of submersion always carries a tiny shock, your body adjusting to this new environment, but it passes almost instantly. The water here is perfectly temperate, requiring no adjustment, no tolerance. It simply welcomes you. You float face down, arms outstretched, letting the gentle current position you however it likes. Through the mask, the underwater world comes into focus gradually, like your eyes are remembering how to see. Below you, the sandy bottom glows pale gold. Sunlight penetrates this far easily, creating shifting patterns that dance across the sea floor. The patterns move with the surface swells, creating an ever-changing light show that requires no audience, has no purpose beyond its own existence. Then you see it, the reef. It begins as scattered formations, individual coral heads rising from the sand like strange sculptures. Brain coral, its surface covered in meandering grooves that do indeed resemble the folds of a human brain. Elkhorn coral branching upward in broad flattened shapes. Sea fans swaying gently, their delicate lattice work catching particles from the current. You kick forward slowly. The fins propel you with minimal effort, each movement smooth and deliberate. There's no reason to rush. The reef isn't going anywhere. The coral becomes denser now, individual heads merging into a continuous garden of colour and texture. Purples and pinks, yellows that seem to glow with their own inner light, browns and greens in 100 subtle variations. Each formation is unique, shaped by years of patient growth, each polyp adding its tiny contribution to the whole. A school of small silver fish darts past. They move as one organism, turning in perfect unison, their scales catching light and scattering it in quick flashes. They pay you no attention whatsoever. You're just another part of their environment, neither threat nor interest. You dive down slightly, equalising the pressure in your ears with a gentle exhale. The coral is even more intricate up close. Tiny details become visible, miniature caves and overhangs, crevices where small creatures hide. The coral itself is alive, you remember, though it appears as still as stone. A sea turtle glides into view. It moves with impossible grace, flippers stroking the water in slow, powerful sweeps. The turtle's shell is covered in a delicate pattern, its flippers edged in pale yellow. It doesn't startle at your presence. Instead, it angles slightly, passing within arm's reach, one ancient eye regarding you with what might be curiosity or might be complete indifference. You watch it disappear into the blue distance, swallowed gradually by the water's natural haze. Even underwater, there's a horizon where visibility ends and mystery begins. Your air is running low in your lungs, not desperately, just naturally. You kick toward the surface, breaking through into the warm evening air, and the world above rushes back in. Welcome to Sleepy Stories, the place where stories aren't meant to be finished. I'm Arthur, and tonight I'll be reading you a relaxing, sleepy story written by Pumby. We continue our journey beneath tropical waters, where the ocean holds you in its gentle embrace. Let the rhythm of the waves above guide your breathing as we drift deeper into this underwater sanctuary. Allow yourself to float, weightless and free. You take a breath of the warm evening air, filling your lungs completely before slipping below the surface once more. The transition feels smoother this time, like returning home after a brief absence. Your body remembers this weightless state, craves it even. The mask seals perfectly against your face, creating a window into another realm entirely. The reef stretches out before you in sprawling complexity. From above, you couldn't appreciate its true scale. Down here, moving through it, you realise it's not just a feature of the seabed, but an entire landscape. Valleys and hills of living stone, passages that wind between coral towers, gardens where different species grow in clustered neighbourhoods, each preferring its own particular depth, its own relationship with light and current. A flash of blue catches your attention. You turn your head slowly, following the movement. A parrotfish, its scales an impossible shade of turquoise, nibbles at the coral with its beak-like mouth. You can hear it, actually hear it underwater, the scraping sound of beak against coral as it feeds on the algae covering the surface. The fish is utterly absorbed in its task, moving methodically across the coral head, taking bite after bite. The parrotfish eventually moves on, swimming with quick bursts of its fins. You notice the cloud it leaves behind. Sand. The fish is creating sand, grinding up the coral in its digestive system and excreting it as fine white powder that drifts down to join the seabed below. Each grain of sand on the beach you walked earlier might have passed through a parrotfish. The thought makes you smile around your snorkel. You propel yourself forward, hands clasped behind your back, letting your fins do all the work. The technique conserves energy, makes you more streamlined. You're learning the ocean's preference for efficiency, for movements that work with the water rather than against it. A moray eel peers out from a crevice in the coral. Only its head is visible, body hidden deep within the reef's architecture. Its mouth opens and closes rhythmically, not in threat but simply to breathe, pumping water over its gills. The eel's eyes follow you as you pass, but it makes no move to retreat or advance. You're both just visitors here, sharing space in mutual tolerance. The seafloor drops away suddenly, not dramatically, just a gentle slope that leads down to deeper water. You can see where the light begins to fade, where the blues deepen into something more mysterious. You don't follow that slope. Instead, you turn parallel to it, swimming along the edge where shallow meets deep, where the reef thrives in perfect balance between sunlight and depth. More fish now, so many you couldn't possibly name them all even if you knew their names. Yellow tangs in small groups, their colour so bright they seem to glow. Damselfish darting around their territories, each one claiming a small section of reef as its own. A lone angelfish, its body marked with intricate patterns that serve no purpose, you can discern beyond being beautiful. A barracuda hangs motionless in the middle distance. Its silver body is perfectly still, suspended as if frozen in time. Only its gills move, subtle ripples along its sides. The fish is longer than your arm, sleek and predatory in design, but it shows no interest in you whatsoever. It's hunting, you realise, but not hunting you. It's waiting for something else entirely, exercising a patience that could last hours. You surface briefly, clearing your snorkel with a sharp exhale, then submerge again. The routine is becoming automatic. Your breathing has slowed, deepened, matching the unhurried pace of everything around you. There's no schedule here, no appointments to keep. The ocean operates on different time entirely. A sea cucumber lies on the sandy bottom, like a deflated football. Its body is covered in small protrusions, and it moves so slowly that movement is barely the right word. It's less moving and more gradually occupying a different space. The creature serves its purpose though, processing sediment, filtering the water, doing its small part in the vast ecosystem surrounding you. You notice your own shadow on the seabed below. The sun has shifted position since you first entered the water. Time is passing, though you've lost track of how much. It doesn't matter. The reef will be here long after you're gone, continuing its patient growth, hosting its residents, simply existing in its own perfect way. A large fish approaches from deeper water. It's a grouper, easily 3 feet long, its body mottled brown and grey. The fish swims directly towards you, and for a moment you wonder if you should move aside. But the grouper simply passes underneath, close enough that you could reach down and touch it, though you don't. The fish glides by with complete confidence, lord of its domain, tolerating your presence, but certainly not intimidated by it. Your fingers are starting to prune slightly from the prolonged water exposure. The sensation is oddly pleasant, a physical reminder of how long you've been immersed in this world. You realise you're growing tired, not exhausted, but gently fatigued. The kind of tiredness that feels earned, satisfying. The reef continues endlessly in every direction, each section offering something new. You could explore here for hours more, days even, and still not see everything. But that's not the point. Welcome to Sleepy Stories, the place where stories aren't meant to be finished. I'm Arthur, and tonight I'll be reading you a relaxing, sleepy story written by Pumby. We're continuing our peaceful journey beneath the waves, drifting through coral gardens where time moves differently. Let your breathing slow as we return to the warm embrace of the ocean. Allow yourself to float alongside these gentle creatures, suspended in their tranquil world. The point is simply being here, witnessing this. You begin a slow turn, orienting yourself back toward where you think the shore might be. The sun's position offers a clue, though you're not entirely certain. Navigation feels unimportant. You'll find your way eventually. A school of juvenile fish swarms around a coral head, each one no bigger than your thumb. They move as a single entity, turning simultaneously, their collective movement creating patterns that shift and flow like liquid mercury. When one turns, they all turn. There's no leader you can identify, no obvious signal being given. They simply know, connected by instincts older than memory. The water grows slightly warmer as you drift over a sandy patch. The white sand reflects sunlight differently than the coral, creating a bright spot that makes you squint briefly. A garden eel pokes up from the sand, just its head and a few inches of body visible. The moment your shadow crosses it, the eel vanishes, withdrawing into its burrow with startling speed. You pause, floating motionless, and after 30 seconds, the eel cautiously re-emerges. Its eyes scan the surroundings, assessing threats, before it resumes its previous position, swaying gently in the current like underwater grass. Other eels dot the sandy area, a whole colony of them, each in its own hole. They maintain careful spacing, none too close to their neighbours. You wonder how deep their burrows go, how far down into the sand they've tunnelled to create these homes. A triggerfish works at the base of a coral formation, its blunt nose pushing into crevices. The fish is searching for something, you realise. Food, probably. Small invertebrates hiding in the coral structure. The triggerfish is patient, methodical, checking each potential hiding spot with thorough attention. Its fins work constantly, making minute adjustments to hold position against the subtle current. You've almost forgotten there is a current, until you notice how the soft corals lean, all bending slightly in the same direction. The water is moving, has been moving this entire time, but so gently that it barely registers. You've been drifting with it, letting it guide you without resistance. Fighting currents is exhausting work. Moving with them costs nothing at all. Your leg muscles have gone pleasantly slack, requiring only occasional lazy kicks to maintain your position. Your arms hang loosely at your sides. The entire experience has become meditative, your awareness expanding to include everything and nothing simultaneously. Individual fish fade into the general presence of fish. Specific corals blend into the reef itself. You're not observing details anymore, so much as absorbing the complete picture. A hawksbill turtle appears from around a coral outcropping. The reptile is smaller than the one you saw earlier, probably younger, but still impressive. Its shell is beautifully patterned, overlapping plates in rich browns and ambers. The turtle pays you no attention whatsoever, instead focusing on a particular section of reef where sponges grow in abundance. The turtle extends its beak-like mouth, tearing off pieces of sponge and chewing with apparent satisfaction. You know sponges are toxic to most creatures. Their bodies full of compounds designed to discourage exactly this kind of predation. But hawksbills have adapted, developed immunity, turned this defense into their dietary staple. Evolution finds solace, ions to every problem, given enough time. The turtle feeds for several minutes while you watch, both of you suspended in your own activities, coexisting peacefully. When the turtle finally swims away, propelling itself with strong strokes of its front flippers, you don't follow. You simply watch it disappear into the blue distance, becoming first a dark shape, then an indistinct shadow, then nothing at all. How many more turtles are out there, beyond your limited field of vision? How much life exists just past where your eyes can penetrate the water? The ocean keeps most of its secrets. You're permitted to see only the smallest fraction. A pufferfish hovers near a coral head, its body rounded but not inflated. The fish watches you with surprisingly expressive eyes, seeming almost curious. Its fins flutter rapidly, working hard to maneuver its ungainly body through the water. Pufferfish always look slightly ridiculous to you, like they're trying too hard, compensating for a body design that wasn't quite thought through. But they survive, thrive even, so perhaps the design works better than it appears. Your fingers brush against a coral accidentally as you drift too close. You pull back immediately, trying to minimize contact. The coral felt rough, like stone covered in the finest sandpaper. You hope you haven't damaged it, haven't killed the tiny polyps where you touched. The reef is more fragile than it appears, each coral colony growing impossibly slowly, adding mere centimetres per year in most cases. Some of these formations are older than nations, older than cities, patient construction projects spanning centuries. The surface calls to you, not urgently, but persistently. Your body is reminding you that it exists in both worlds, that eventually the land must reclaim you. Welcome to Sleepy Stories, the place where stories aren't meant to be finished. I'm Arthur, and tonight I'll be reading you a relaxing, sleepy story written by Pumby. We continue our peaceful drift through warm tropical waters, where time moves differently and every breath comes slow and easy. Let the gentle current carry your thoughts away as we explore deeper into this tranquil underwater world. Settle in, relax completely, and let yourself float. You begin your ascent, but there's no rush to it. Your body rises gradually, pulled upward by buoyancy more than effort. The water around you grows incrementally brighter as you climb through layers of depth. Looking down, the reef beneath you starts to shrink, features compressing together until individual corals become indistinguishable from one another. The whole structure transforms into texture, pattern, a general impression of life, rather than specific living things. Halfway up, you pause. Just hang there, suspended between surface and seafloor, belonging fully to neither. The water here feels different somehow, as though you've entered a separate zone with its own character. Perhaps it's temperature, a slightly warmer band. Perhaps it's simply psychological, your mind marking the transition between depths. A school of jacks materializes from the blue void. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands, moving as one organism. They flow around you like liquid silver, their bodies flashing as they turn in perfect synchronization. You're surrounded, engulfed, yet completely safe. The fish have no interest in you, no reaction to your presence at all. You're simply an obstacle to navigate around, which they do effortlessly. The school passes, streaming away into the distance, and suddenly you're alone again. The solitude feels more pronounced now, emphasized by contrast. Moments ago you were surrounded by abundant life. Now there's just you, the water, and the diffused sunlight filtering down from above. You continue rising, slower still. Each breath comes deep and satisfying, filling your lungs completely before releasing. The rhythm has become automatic, natural, requiring no conscious thought whatsoever. Your body knows exactly what to do, has settled into perfect equilibrium with this environment. Something large moves in your peripheral vision. You turn your head slowly, following the motion. A reef shark glides past, perhaps 10 feet away, its body a study in efficient design. The shark is maybe 5 feet long, sleek and purposeful. It doesn't look at you, doesn't acknowledge your existence. To the shark you're irrelevant, neither threat nor prey, just another object in its territory. You watch the shark until it fades from view, swallowed by the blue haze that obscures everything beyond a certain distance. Your heartbeat never changed, never accelerated with fear. You've moved past such reactions, settled into complete trust of this environment and your place within it. The surface is close now. You can see the underside of it, that rippling silver ceiling that marks the boundary between worlds. Sunlight fractures through the waves, creating shifting patterns of light that dance and shimmer. The patterns are hypnotic, constantly changing, yet somehow remaining the same. You could watch them forever, let them occupy your entire awareness, but you break through. Your face emerges into air and sunshine. The transition is jarring for just a moment, your senses adjusting to this different medium. Sound returns, the gentle lap of waves against your body, the distant cry of seabirds, the soft whisper of wind. After the profound silence below, even these quiet sounds seem loud. You float on your back, face tilted toward the sky. Clouds drift overhead in lazy formations, white against brilliant blue. The sun warms your face, a pleasant heat after the cool embrace of the ocean. Your body rises and falls with the swells, rocking gently. This motion is soothing in its own right, a different kind of meditation. Time passes. You're not sure how much. Could be minutes, could be longer. The distinction doesn't matter. You exist in an extended present moment, neither remembering the past nor anticipating the future. There's just this, just now, just the sensation of floating beneath an endless sky. Eventually, you right yourself, treading water with minimal effort. The island is visible in the distance, its green mountains rising from the sea. Palm trees line the beach, swaying in the breeze. It looks impossibly peaceful from here, a perfect refuge. You begin swimming toward it, your strokes slow and measured. There's no urgency, the island isn't going anywhere. As you swim, you think about what you've just experienced. The reef, the fish, the turtles, the profound quiet of the underwater world. Already the memories are taking on a dreamlike quality, becoming softer around the edges, less concrete. Did you really see all those things? Were the colours truly that vivid? The memories insist yes, but they feel almost too perfect, too serene to be entirely real. The water grows shallower. Your fingers brush sand, then your knees. You're in the shallows now, the beach just ahead. Small waves push you gently forward, helping you along. The water is bath warm here, heated by the sun. You can see your shadow on the sandy bottom, distorted by the rippling surface. You stand, water streaming from your body. Your legs feel strange after so long, spent weightless, suddenly heavy and awkward. Walking through knee-deep water requires effort, each step pushing against resistance. The sand shifts beneath your feet, sometimes firm, sometimes giving way. Welcome to Sleepy Stories, the place where stories aren't meant to be finished. I'm Arthur, and tonight I'll be reading you a relaxing, sleepy story written by Pumby. We're continuing our underwater journey in the crystal clear waters of a tropical paradise. Let your breathing slow, your muscles soften, and allow yourself to drift into this tranquil world where time moves differently and peace surrounds you. You reach the beach, stepping from water onto dry sand. The texture changes instantly beneath your feet, from wet and packed to loose and warm. Each step leaves a footprint that fills slightly with water, then drains away. You pause at the waterline, that shifting boundary where ocean meets land. Small waves wash over your feet, then retreat, the eternal rhythm of tide and shore. The sensation is grounding, connecting you to this place in a tangible way. Looking back, the ocean stretches endlessly. From here, you can't see the reef, can't see any evidence of that underwater world you just left. The surface gives nothing away, keeping its secrets hidden beneath that shimmering blue expanse. It's remarkable how much exists below, invisible from above. You turn inland, walking up the beach toward the shade of palm trees. The sand is hot now, heated by hours of direct sun. You walk quickly across it, seeking the cooler sand beneath the palms. Their fronds rustle overhead, creating patches of moving shade that offer relief. You settle onto the sand, your back against a palm trunk. From here, you have a perfect view of the ocean, the beach, the sky. Everything is visible, spread before you like a painting. Your body feels different now. Heavy, yes, but in a pleasant way. The weightlessness of the water has given way to the solid reality of gravity, pressing you gently into the sand. Your limbs are loose, relaxed. Salt dries on your skin, leaving a slight tightness that somehow feels good. The breeze touches your face, carrying the scent of salt and tropical flowers. You close your eyes. Behind your eyelids, colours swirl, blues and greens, the afterimage of water and reef. They fade gradually, replaced by darkness. But it's not an empty darkness. It's full somehow, pregnant with the memory of everything you've just experienced. The fish, the coral, the turtle, the endless blue. Your breathing has found its own rhythm again. Deep and slow, each breath filling your lungs completely before releasing. You're not controlling it anymore, just observing it. In and out, steady and sure. Your heartbeat is slow, calm. You can feel it in your chest, that reliable pulse that continues whether you pay attention or not. Time does strange things here. Minutes might be hours, hours might be minutes. The sun moves across the sky in its inevitable arc, but you're barely aware of it. Shadows shift, lengthen, but these changes happen too slowly to notice in any single moment. Only when you open your eyes occasionally do you realise how much time has passed. A crab scuttles past, its sideways gait quick and purposeful. It pauses, eye stalks swivelling, then continues on its way. You watch without moving, just another part of the landscape. Birds call from the trees behind you. Tropical songs unlike anything heard in colder climates. The sounds blend with the waves, creating a natural symphony. You think about nothing in particular. Thoughts arise, drift through your awareness, and dissolve like those clouds overhead. None of them stick, none demand attention. They're just passing phenomena, no more substantial than the breeze. This mental quiet is rare, precious. Usually, your mind is full of noise, constantly processing and planning and worrying. But not here, not now. The ocean continues its eternal conversation with the shore. Each wave is slightly different, yet all are fundamentally the same. They've been having this conversation for millions of years, long before you arrived, and will continue long after you leave. There's something comforting in that continuity, that sense of being part of something much larger and older than yourself. Your muscles have released tensions you didn't know you were holding. Your jaw is unclenched. Your shoulders have dropped. Even your hands are open, palms up, fingers slightly curled. Everything has softened, settled, found its natural resting state. This is what complete relaxation feels like, you realise. Not the absence of sensation, but the presence of ease. The light begins to change, taking on that golden quality that comes in late afternoon. It's warmer now, richer, painting everything with amber tones. The ocean reflects it, turning from blue to gold to orange. The sky begins its slow transformation through the spectrum, preparing for the performance of sunset. But you don't need to watch it. You've seen enough beauty for one day, experienced enough wonder. Your eyelids are heavy, so heavy, keeping them open requires effort you're no longer willing to make. They close, and this time you let them stay closed. The sounds around you begin to fade, not disappearing but becoming distant, muffled. The waves, the birds, the rustling palms, they're still there, but they're no longer in the foreground of your awareness. They've become background, ambient, a soft cushion of sound supporting you. Your breathing slows further. Each exhale releases more tension, more thought, more awareness. You're sinking into something deeper than relaxation, something that feels like falling and floating simultaneously. The boundary between waking and sleeping becomes blurred, meaningless. You're somewhere in between, in that perfect twilight state where everything is peaceful. The island holds you gently. The sand supports you. The palm provides shade. The ocean continues its song. And you finally, completely let go. You drift deeper still, past thought, past awareness, into that place where sleep and peace are indistinguishable. The ocean's rhythm has become your rhythm. The island's stillness has become your stillness. Every wave that touches the shore echoes in your slowing breath. Every rustle of palm fronds matches the quiet settling of your mind. Somewhere distant, the sun touches the horizon. Colours bloom across the sky in silent celebration. The ocean transforms into liquid fire, then violet, then deep indigo. Stars begin their emergence, one by one, piercing through the darkening canvas above. The reef beneath the waves continues its patient existence. Coral polyps extending to feed in the darkness. Fish finding their sleeping spots in familiar crevices. But these things happen without you now. You've released your hold on awareness, let go of observation. The tropical night unfolds according to ancient patterns that require no witness. Waves continue their eternal conversation with sand. Creatures hunt and hide and rest. The island breathes its slow breath, alive in ways beyond human perception. Your body has become indistinguishable from the sand supporting it. Weight has lost meaning. Temperature has faded. Even the boundary between your skin and the air has dissolved. You're not separate from this place anymore. You're woven into it, part of its fabric, another element in its composition. The last thread of consciousness lets go, not with effort or decision, but simply because holding on requires energy you no longer possess. It slips away like water through open fingers, natural and inevitable. What remains isn't sleep exactly, nor waking. It's something older than both, deeper than either. Pure rest, complete peace. the kind of profound stillness that exists at the bottom of the ocean, where light barely reaches and pressure equalizes everything. The story doesn't end because stories need witnesses, and there's no one witnessing anymore. Just a body breathing slowly beneath tropical stars. Just an island holding space for rest. Just an ocean keeping its eternal rhythm. The reef sleeps in its own way. The fish dream their fish dreams. The turtles drift through dark water guided by instincts older than memory. And you, finally and fully, rest.